On average, it takes about a year to construct a 450-foot cargo ship, yet the SS Robert E. Peary was built in an impressive 4 days. Today we'll be exploring the topic of ships like these and how they ended up killing 10 people. War had been raging in Europe for 3 years before the US entered the fight in December 1941, pledging to help the Allies defeat the Axis powers. But getting US troops and supplies to Europe required a solution, as most remained in North America. America's answer to this problem was, naturally, mass production. Over the course of the next 4 years, 18 U.S. shipyards built over 2,700 Liberty ships, averaging 42 days per ship. These easily manufactured cargo ships were simple and easily adaptable, making them perfect for military use. So great, they just whipped up a bunch of those and problem solved, right? But new welding methods and unskilled workers often resulted in improperly welded ships. This made them remarkably brittle in the low temperatures of the ocean. Sources say that roughly 1,031 Liberty ships, or about a third of the total made, experienced fractures in the side of their hull. And for their trademark act, 3 Liberty ships spontaneously split in 2, sometimes even just when tied at a dock. It's like if your cup broke while you're drinking hot tea. Yikes. 10 lives were lost because of these complications. With these problems in the spotlight, a new nickname started, redubbing Liberty ships to Kaiser's coffins, named after their ability to sink and the man who most made them, Henry J. Kaiser. A New York-born industrialist, Henry J. Kaiser's prior work included the construction of the Hoover, Bonneville, and Cooley dams, then later the founding of the creatively named Kaiser shipyards. During World War II, the 7 shipyards produced 821 Liberty ships in an average of 45 days each. Kaiser saw this 45-day average and, swept up in the typical American manufacturer's mindset, decided to go into speedrunning. Kaiser's Oregon shipyard near Portland completed the first attempt, the SS Joseph N. Teal, in 10 days on September 23, 1942. This time was impressive, but not quite what Kaiser was going for. When asked if he could go faster, he claimed he could have done it in 8 days, but he had delayed construction to allow President Franklin D. Roosevelt to visit. After setting his sights on cutting the time in half, Kaiser proposed the idea to Roosevelt, who thought it was a great idea. They both saw it as a propaganda effort, but for different reasons. Roosevelt meant to show that the US could make ships faster than the Axis powers could destroy them, whereas Kaiser wanted to boost the morale of his workers. Kaiser's plan was simple: pre-make as much of the ship as possible and then position the sections for easy assembly. The actual execution would be harder, as a typical Liberty ship was 3,396 subscribe buttons long, and the equivalent weight of 2,926 Ford F-150s. The Richmond Shipyard No. 2 of the Permanente Metals Corporation in California made the boat in 250-ton sections and then organized them for efficiency. After months of preparation, they were ready. At a minute past midnight on November 8, 1942, the workers laid the keel, starting the speed run. They installed the bottom of the ship first, then plated it. By mid-morning, the boilers were installed, then the walls within the hull and the shaft to house the propeller. They completed the upper deck the next day, along with the lower forepeak, basically the room to balance the ship, and the back of the ship. On the 10th, the mast, the cargo cranes, and everything on the main deck, like the bridge, were installed. On the last day of construction, the workers installed the gun platforms and smokestacks and completed the welding, wires, and painting. Maud Burns christened the ship the SS Robert E. Peary, named after one of the first explorers to reach the North Pole. After an excruciating 26 minutes of speeches, the SS Robert E. Peary went down the slipway into San Francisco Bay. The time from the laying the keel to the launch of the ship was 4 days, 15 hours, and 29 minutes, a new world record. The ship also broke the record for the fastest delivery to service from construction, at 7.5 days. The U.S. Navy retired the SS Robert E. Peary after 4 years of service, or the equivalent of 3 business days, then scrapped it in 1963. That doesn't seem like a lot of time, but I'm surprised it lasted that long because that thing probably had more holes than a cheese grater.